Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Manny B Investing. And we've got the latest Paribus post on the new blog, Testing the Waters. Let's take a look. Measure twice, cut once. In light of our recent MVP announcement, we wanted to provide some general insight into this decision. In this article, we review our first Paribus Twitter Spaces in the MVP testnet. Let's go ahead and check it out. As we explained last week, in light of our current market conditions and general uncertainty following Luna's unprecedented collapse, we've decided the Paribus MVP will be released in phases. Phase 1 will be the release of the MVP on testnet. But what exactly does this mean? A testnet is a copy of a blockchain that runs on the same underlying structure and code. It is effectively a sandbox where developers can release test versions of their platforms to see exactly how they'll run without any risk to the live blockchain or its assets. That's a good explanation. I work with testnets and sandboxes all the time. So yes, I'm a big fan of testnet and sandboxes. It allows you to play around with things without risking your code, without risking real assets, like the article says. There are several benefits to launching via testnet, and the current market conditions have helped to make this route possible. Although the conditions surrounding this are terrible for the space in general, the silver lining is that it allows everyone to get a better understanding of our MVP prior to its full public release. During the testnet phase, people will be able to try out Paribus MVP with artificial tokens or test tokens. These function in the same way as the live tokens, but have no intrinsic monetary value. For instance, if you wanted to try using the MVP to take out a loan using 100 BTC as collateral, you can do that without having your own, without having to own any real Bitcoin. Within a testnet, you can pull tokens from a faucet that have no actual value, but enable you to trial the platform. This helps rapidly improve the learning curve for everyone involved. And I like how they put doesn't have any intrinsic value, because there was a point where there was a really popular platform that launched and everyone wanted test tokens and didn't have them. And there were people actually selling test tokens for real tokens. So anything can have value. It just depends on the circumstance and the people. But it's not here nor there. All right. From a developer's point of view, it means that potential errors can be exposed without any risk to people's real assets. From a user's point of view, it helps them gain a deeper practical understanding of how to interact with all aspects of the platform at no cost or risk. Trial and error have huge benefits, especially within the safety of a testnet. Charles Hoskinson spoke recently about the importance of testnets. There's a perverse financial incentive to basically launch now, not after spending a year or two on a testnet, then carefully thinking about things. In fact, our ecosystem, the Cardano ecosystem, is one of the most criticized in the entire space by podcasters and the elite VC people who, by the way, were invested in Luna for being too slow, taking too long, and doing peer review and doing things the hard way and so forth. Whilst a year or two on the testnet is certainly important for developing a blockchain, we won't need nearly that long to fully test our MVP. We anticipate the testnet phase will last approximately 1 month. However, as with all things in the space, that may change slightly if conditions change. As Dennis, our CEO, explained in our first Twitter space last week, we're very focused on testing our MVP as much as possible. He said, We've taken our time with the MVP, especially code-wise. It was ready since February, but we carried on writing tests to make sure there was good enough code coverage on our code base before we even handled it or handed it over to Hacken. The opportunity we've now got to expand this testing to include anyone who has or has participated in our staking program or ambassador program gives us even more real-world data to help fine-tune it before launch. As Wilson, our COO, said, There is the exact reason why we're releasing our MVP in 2 phases. Essentially, we're going to have the testnet version and can make sure everything is running smoothly and that there are no possible security flaws that we can detect. We're hoping that our community will understand that this is a better approach to ensure the longevity of our protocol. Aside from testing out the security aspects of MVP on the testnet phase, will also help us understand how intuitive our user interface and workflows are. As Dennis went on to explain, it gives us an idea of what sort of interactions users will have. Maybe we'll need some additional metrics to be extracted from the application so that we can market the MVP properly. The testnet will give us a good overview of how people interact with the platform overall in general. So when we go live, everything is 100% and we have no concerns. As we finalize the last adjustments to the MVP based on Hacken's feedback, we'll share further details of when and where the testnet will be live. In the meantime, as always, we thank our loyal community for the incredible support and encouragement. We're as excited as you are to be a part of developing the future of DeFi together. All right, cool little post about what a testnet is, which is really good. I like seeing and getting that education on a base level. Very easy to follow and understand. Not a lot of fluff. Maybe the end had a little bit of fluff, but the beginning had a lot of good information on what a testnet is. So with that, we do have a few questions. Why did they design the testnet to roll out in the way that it did? When did they decide to go with a testnet? Was this something that happened in February, or did they change their mind after the market crash with Luna? Not a super important question, but I am curious on my own. I technically will not qualify to be able to take part in the testnet. I think that's kind of silly given who I am and what I've done in this space to build up a lot of the community. But hey, not my project. I don't make the rules. But again, if I see anything silly, I'm going to call it out, and that's silly. But again, thank you guys for checking out the channel. Make sure you hit that like, hit that share, and subscribe. I am building on Cardano in the fall, the crypto fall. So again, thank you for sticking with me, and make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.